Katt Williams, he really kind of set the mood of this year already. Katt Williams versus everybody. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Drop a like, 500. Scary ass.
What's the deal
Let's
with
get it.
peanuts?
My frustration with Katt Williams comes from you keep pointing at Hollywood. When do you take responsibility for your actions? You had the shot. You were set up to be the star. You didn't show up to work. You f***ed off promo shoots.
The industry doesn't mess with Katt because he didn't show up for the studio. No studios have ever said that. Look at my IMDb. It will show you that no studio has ever lost money with me on the script.
At one point in time, I had 7 shows on TV all at once. So in 2012, I had to walk away.
Steve told you that he stopped doing stand-up because he had 7 TV shows. The only problem is when he stopped stand-up, he didn't have those 7 TV shows.
I auditioned for Mighty Mike. Right. You know, so when I went in there...
I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if you watched that interview, but I watched like a good majority of it, and Katt was, he was kicking a lot of facts, bro, and a lot of people gonna disagree with him because he's super bliggity black, but like...
Do a lot of people not like him?
Nah, it's not that. I just think that people just be S&D like he be saying. So like I just think like he's a person that never sold his integrity for money, and he's saying that a lot of people have, and now he got a lot of people upset because of that, which I don't disagree with a lot of the stuff he said, because a lot of the stuff he did say was like facts. I mean, I don't know. Hopefully they break into it more in this, because I ain't gonna front. This might be kind of fire.
To audition, I'm at the toilet. When Katt Williams went to use the bathroom, that's the line I had to use to audition. So they switched it up. So I was like, yeah, I can do this Santa Claus role. But I didn't know that, because I did my role like in 4 days.
35 members of the cast and crew have never brought up that Ricky Smiley was gonna play Money Mike. No one ever saw me put on a Santa Claus suit. We got a wardrobe department. They made a Santa Claus suit for me. Why that wasn't in the bloopers? And here's the other thing. Everything that Money Mike said, Katt Williams wrote. So what Ricky Smiley say on his? You can't say my lines, I wrote them. That's how I already know that I'm gonna be funnier than you.
Katt Williams just called out the entire comedy industry during a rare podcast appearance on Club Shay Shay in order to set the record straight about the real reasons behind his long-standing beef with Kevin Hart, Ricky Smiley, Steve Harvey, and more, as well as exposing handfuls of comedians who've sold their souls to the Hollywood elites in exchange for hundreds of millions of dollars worth of movie roles and their current level of A-list celebrity fame. During this 2-hour and 46-minute bombshell interview, Katt also spoke his mind on a range of other topics, such as his life story leading up to becoming a stand-up icon, his friendship with Prince and the Migos, and even threw his 2 cents in on Kim and Kanye.
What do you expect? The guy married a whore. Like what?
Oh, Lord.
Like, I didn't mean it like that. I mean, married her because she was one. Not he didn't know. He understood
I
that
feel him.
he
I don't think
wanted
that's
that.
crazy.
But in
I
this
feel what
video,
you're saying.
we're just going to focus on the comedy beef.
And not the work ethic they talk about. They tell you work ethic where they do all these movies. I'm the hardest working man. Well, no, everybody goes to work every day. Right. I'm saying, I'm going to work all the time. Everybody who works goes to work every day.
Facts.
Shannon Sharpe has interviewed dozens of famous comedians on his show. But according to Shannon, he's been trying to get Katt Williams in the guest seat since 2022. The moment that Katt Williams agreed, however, he warned Shannon Sharpe that this interview will not only break the internet, but skyrocket Club Shay Shay to a whole new level, which is exactly what happened. The Katt Williams interview is gonna hit well over 40 million views. Shannon's YouTube channel has gained close to 1 million new subscribers in the last 4 days alone. And at this point, most of the comedians called out by Katt Williams have responded in some way, shape, or form. But before we take a look at those responses, let's first hear a little more of exactly what Katt Williams had to say.
Cedric told you when you asked him, did you steal Katt Williams' joke? Yeah. He said, it don't line up. How it don't line up that I did it on TV in 2018? You came to see me at the Comedy Store do it in 2019 and then did it on the Kings of Comedy. This is a televised joke that Mark Curry helped me punch up and get to the level that it was. The same Steve that went to go watch Mark Curry do his whole sitcom and then stole everything Mark Curry had. Now Steve got a sitcom where...
So this nigga Cedric the Entertainer, because they kind of like piecing things together. They're not putting everything on there, but so Cedric the Entertainer literally stole a like super famous joke from Katt Williams. And then Katt Williams essentially called him out, was like, yo, like, that's my joke, and you knew it was my joke because you've, you know, seen me. Yeah, you've literally been there when I've done this. And then like, he rebutted, like, you know, later on, Cedric the Entertainer was like, nah, like, you know, it was different and whoop-de-whoop, but it's weird, but... And then Cedric, like he's saying, he's like, you know, Cedric and Steve Harvey are friends, and Steve Harvey stole from not only Katt Williams, also stole from Mark Curry as well. So, I don't know, there's a lot of exposing in this video, for real. I ain't gonna front. It's kind of crazy.
And then stole everything Mark Curry had. Now Steve got a sitcom where he the principal and he wear a suit. Then you ask it, why you not a movie star? I didn't want to be a movie star. This the same Negro that hated on Bernie with this same thing.
They clipped the dates weird. He's saying Hanging with Mr. Cooper was basically the original show that Steve Harvey took the Steve Harvey show from.
Okay.
And I'm like, yeah, no, that's crazy, yeah.
Same Negro that hated on Bernie with this same thing. I didn't want to be a movie star. No, you couldn't be a movie star. There are 30,000 new scripts in Hollywood every year. Not one of them asks for a country bumpkin black dude that can't talk good Obukabe and look like Mr. Potato Head. There ain't none. You would have to have a range. I played a lot of characters, 60 movie roles. I'm not playing Katt Williams in there. For a 5-year period, every single movie that Kevin Hart did was a movie that had been on my desk. That all I had said was, just, can we take some of this step and fetch it shit out? And then I can do it. Like, it don't need to be overtly homosexual, because I'm not homosexual, right? It doesn't need that to be funny, right? And me saying that and them going, oh yeah, no problem. And then going to give it to this other guy and having him do it just like it was and acting like I'm a bad person because I keep standing on my standard. You know what the number one job of somebody that sold their soul in Hollywood is? What? Is to act like it didn't happen. They all do the same job. Why do you think Gary Owen can't cross over and he already white and been in comedy for 25 years? If what I say ain't the case. This is how you end up with a Michael Blackson who's a real African doing a fake African accent. Okay, this guy is mad at me. All I did was give him the best advice of his life. Remember, he was wearing dirty dashikis. And I told him he needed to dress to be in the position that he's trying to say that he's in. And if you're the African king of comedy, sir, there's actually comedians in Africa doing comedy. If you're going to say that, you got to go to Africa and get a school. Dude.
Oh, that nigga is cooking, bro. Oh, my God.
That's true.
Nah, bro, basically Katt's not a coon, bro, and he not with that bullshit where people gotta shuck and jive to make money. He just not with that shit. Because his whole point was like, bro, yeah, I could have got a lot more movie roles, but I wasn't gonna put on a dress and act how y'all wanted me to act because, like, I'm still a man at the end of the day. And that's fine, you know, and I mean, I'm not gonna say he suffered because of it, but I'm saying, like, he's okay with the position he's in.
He's not selling his soul for that way, and he's probably living in a better mental state than a lot of them other ones.
Oh yeah, because at the end of the day, bro, and I say the same thing about YouTube people, man. You can't sell your soul for views, bro, because later on you're gonna regret the fact how you got there, and you're gonna have to continue to appease those people. That's why when I see people in the comments and they talking all this, that, and the third, like, bro, I'm not about to let y'all knock me off my block. Because, like, bitch, you wouldn't say that in real life.
I find it very funny.
Yeah, nah, it's like, it is what it is. But, like, that's what he's saying. He's not going to let people, you know, change his narrative.
Right.
You got to put in some work. And these guys, they take my advice, they change their whole persona, and then they hate me for it. This is like Steve Harvey telling people he used to be homeless. That's my story. That's not his story. Steve Harvey wasn't never homeless. When Mark Curry was touring with him 25 years ago, he was making $3,000 a show in cash and doing 5 shows a week. They just tell the stories. Thanks to my wife, I'm where I am. You said that about the first wife. You forget that? You told us it was her. Then you went and married somebody else that think like a man. Like, what are you talking about? They think they can rewrite history. Guy Torrey did a beautiful special about the Comedy Store and Fat Tuesday where he said that Steve and Cedric and Kevin Hart and Tiffany Haddish came through there and made... All lies. Steve and Cedric never performed at the Comedy Store at all. Tiffany was only seen at the Laugh Factory. In 15 years in Hollywood, no one in Hollywood has a memory of going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show, there being a line for him ever getting a standing ovation at any comedy club. He already had his deals when he got here. Have we heard of a comedian that came to LA and in his
Hold on, I want to say something too, and because a lot of people might not understand, like that's why I've always felt this way about Kevin Hart, and like people don't understand, like because Kevin Hart was a part of the hip hop community, so like folks weren't looking at Kevin Hart like they are now. Now they look at Kevin Hart like they look at The Rock, like, oh, this is a household name. Kevin Hart, one of his first movie was a hood movie called Paper Soldiers, bro. Like people don't, like it was like some fucking Rockefeller movie, like literally some like Jay-Z movie that he was in, that he was like the person in the movie. Like a lot of people don't know that he comes from like hood shit. So now, not saying don't better yourself, but Katt is basically saying like, you know, again, like I'm not gonna sell my like who I am to be in a different position that like, and I made it to the exact same place you made it without doing that. Yeah, because like I don't know, that's real ish though.
First year in LA, he had his own sitcom on network television and had his own movie called Soul Plane that he was leading. No, we've never heard of that before that person or since that person. What do you think a plant is?
Katt Williams won Cedric the Entertainer's and Anheuser-Busch Best Los Angeles Comic Award. Did you win that award, won Katt Williams? It's a simple yes or no. It's not a rhetorical question.
It's a question that probably should have been asked to Cedric the Entertainer.
I'm asking you. I got you here, though.
I know. I couldn't believe Cedric didn't get asked that question. You still a dude's joking and giving an award, and then 10 years later you don't know nothing about it. Hey, but I promise you this.
What?
If he sees me again before he sees you, he'll be talking different when you see him. That's for certain. That's the difference. That's what these comics understand, is that I'm not doing nothing for clout. I don't even recognize clout. But eventually the Lord is gonna let me and you be in one hallway. Kevin Hart done went 25 years without ever being in the same building with me at the same time. If I go in the building, he walk out. You've never seen us in the same building ever in 25 years. It's like that. Why? Why?
Yes.
Because I'm really the product. It's not what you think. I am never under the influence of anything. I'm always in my right mind. That would be like me being on Joe Rogan. Joe don't want me on there. I need to be on Shannon. Joe got 6 comedians that never been funny. He want to push out.
And it's funny because I actually told you about that, but Joe Rogan now invited him, but I don't think Joe Rogan would have invited him.
After this?
Yes, of course. Yeah, I don't think, because he's right. There has been a ton of comedians that are on Joe Rogan's podcast that aren't funny, and he's not there. But a lot of people gonna say because, again, like I don't know. I don't think anybody knows. So it's like a bunch of he said, she said, but everybody try to paint Katt like he the villain all the time because he don't mind saying shit. Mm-hmm. So like back when a few years ago when he was getting arrested for like fighting that kid and shit like that. Like, a lot of people was looking at him like, oh, he doing crackhead erratic behavior, but, like, they never looked into why that was happening. So, like, I don't know. It's kind of, I don't know. I be believing Katt Williams. I know that some of the shit he's saying is probably bullshit, but, like, a lot of that shit that he's saying is, like, real, like...
Yeah, I'm trying to read him, too.
Yeah, it's kind of, he's,
Because some things I'm like, but...
But most of the stuff been proved.
I do believe him.
Yeah, it's wild. I don't know.
And I do believe that whole world.
Oh, yeah. Because, I mean, shit. He was like Terry Crews, bro. Terry Crews is admitted to, like, literally getting groped by a grown man in front of his wife and doing nothing because he didn't want to be blackballed in the industry. Like, he let a grown man grab his dick in front of his wife because he didn't want... And I'm telling you right now, like, I'm going to die. I don't know what, like, I'm crashing out. Like, I don't know what, and that shit weird. And he basically saying, like, he literally said, he was like, yeah, you can get on. You just got to suck a dick. Like, and he wasn't even joking. Like, that's not, like, some new shit. Like, people, this entertainment shit weird, bro. Very weird.
And everybody want to be in it.
But that's really how it is. I'm so sorry I'm competitive.
Kevin Hart was quick to respond to Katt's comments, ironically using this drama as a way to advertise his new movie, saying, quote, "Gotta get that anger up out you, champ. It's honestly sad. Please enjoy my movie trailer to my next film, Lift, which will be dropping on Netflix in 8 days. There's a moment in the trailer where they say they really love you. I now know she's talking about Katt. Mark your calendars, world. This one's special." Michael Blackson had multiple responses, first tweeting, "I'm so confused. I'm African with a fake African accent. My accent had me roasted every day in school and in the comedy clubs in America, and I wish I could get rid of it. Even my Philly accent is fake. I guess the only real thing about me is my deek." And then went on to list his top 10 black comedians alive, putting Katt Williams number 4, but clarifying that we all have to agree he's not the same Katt from 2005. Tiffany Haddish was next to chime in, saying, "I am not mad, I just wish he would get his facts right about me. Dang, I guess I will send him a reminder text. But are we sure that's Katt Williams? He looks a lot like Charleston White." Gary Owen quote tweeted someone asking for clarification, saying, "I'm not sure if Katt was giving me respect or saying I'm not shit." And finally, Joe Rogan quote tweeted the clip of Katt calling out his show and said, "I love Katt. He's one of my favorite comics and I'd love to have him on. We talk about him all the time. If he's down, I'll make it happen." And a few comedians who are
that's crazy. Hold on. This yo, shout out to Sound. It's a vibe. He actually from Providence. He blew up. Like, he be on YouTube posting a lot. I mean, you know, he posts on YouTube too, but he a dope nigga though. It's cool.
Yeah, okay, he put there that he said all that too, and then all of a sudden Joe Rogan's like, "Hey, you can be on my show."
Yeah.
If he's down, we'll make it happen.
Facts. Like, they should have been done that.
Right.
Because even when he was in all that controversy, people wasn't asking him to be on their podcast because they was acting like he was crazy. I don't know.
him on. We talk about him all the time. If he's down, I'll make it happen. And a few comedians who are commonly on the Joe Rogan Experience also reacted to being called out by association, such as Giannis Pappas, who said, "I know you ain't talking about me, Katt. I'll show you address." Joe List said, "Well, maybe I've never been funny on the show, but I've had my moments on stage by myself." And Mark Norman, who said Katt Williams just dropped the Black Epstein client list. Ever since this episode started going viral, there's been people calling what Katt Williams did a publicity stunt, claiming that nobody was talking about Katt a few months ago, but now he's the toast of the town after saying a few inflammatory statements.
The truth don't need motivation. I'm just saying I can't let these dudes lie. Cedric's sitting here telling you why he ain't a movie star. He over here look like a walrus. You didn't say nothing. He can't even get his arms off his stomach sitting over here. Why I'm not a movie star. What?
It's a situation.
He never wrote anything. Remember, when Cedric the Entertainer starts, he's supposed to be singing, dancing, and telling jokes. That's why he's called the Entertainer.
Right.
We found out he can't sing, can't dance, and doesn't write jokes. He did 4 comedy specials. They're so bad, Shannon, they're not available on Netflix or Tubi.
After watching the entire 3-hour podcast, it's hard to say Katt Williams doesn't sound believable, especially because outside of Joe Rogan, none of the responses so far even address the detailed stories that Katt Williams laid out for us on Club Shay Shay. If he truly isn't telling the truth, I don't see why any of these comedians who all have huge platforms of their own haven't come out with any actual facts to prove Katt wrong. Although it is understandable to not want to engage directly with Katt if these are lies and escalate this conflict even farther, but at this point, 35 million people have watched this podcast. Not to mention the hundreds of other clips that have already been posted.
Nah,
so
I'm telling you right now, I'm telling you, they can't respond, bruh. They can't, because what happened is he choked them. Like, because if they respond, then they're admitting that what he's saying is right. Because at the end of the day, he's saying that they're puppets. They live by whatever rules they got because they have no other choice. He's saying, I don't live that way and I'm not going to, which is why he's not scared to expose shit. Yeah. Because, I don't know, bro.
It's the same thing with all the industry, that whole industry, the music industry, this industry, all that. Like,
facts.
The people who, like I said, sell their souls away.
Because, boy, Katt just unapologetically black and niggas hate that shit.
I think clearing this up would be a top priority for all these comedians, and it will be interesting to see if any more comedians respond. And hopefully Katt Williams even takes Joe Rogan up on the offer to have him on the podcast. All of this seems like the type of topic Joe Rogan would love to go super deep into. If Katt doesn't go on JRE, it might be years before we hear from him again.
Joe got 6 comedians that never been funny he want to push out. But that's really how it is.
That's pretty funny. The only laughs I got was making fun of my own set. People were like, yeah, you do suck, dude. I was like, guys, you don't know, I'm actually pretty good in the white community. But
guest spots from last week. The Joe Rogan Experience had on Taylor Sheridan. Two Bears, One Cave was Tom and Jessica Curson. Kill Tony this week was with Kirk Fox. YMH and We Might Be Drunk did not have guests. Are You Garbage spoke with Chase.
I think that's really all. I ain't gonna front because I ain't gonna watch it. I don't really need to see the rest of it. But I like that. I thought it was gonna be a little bit different, but
that told a lot.
Yeah, it was informative. Mm-hmm. Drop a like.
Drop it.
You know what I'm saying? Run it up because I would love to do more Katt Williams.
I was just gonna say that.
Facts.
Bye.